Okay, we'll go ahead and keep our media availabilities rolling today. We are joined by Martin Truex Jr., driver the number 19 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. We'll open it up for questions, and we'll go ahead and start right here in the middle.
Thank you. Yes, Martin. Larry at the Buffalo News. You have a local Buffalo boy on your team this season, Jake Halpenny, the engineer. Just talk a little bit about your relationship and what he's brought to the team, in the year he's been with you.
Oh, yeah, sure. Jake's a great guy. He's been fun to work with and, gets along well with James and in the crew. So, yeah, he's been a good addition and, nice guy, does a good job.
All right, any more questions? Go over here to Bob.
Bob Pockris, Fox Sports. Do you feel like you're in a must-win yet, or do you feel like you can score stage points, and be back in it?
I really don't know. I mean, we'll just have to see. It's obviously a bit of a hole to dig out of. So it was unfortunate last week that we got caught up and got some damage. But yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. We're gonna do all we can to try to win, obviously. But I think we'll know more after this weekend's over.
If you were in the same position last year knowing that you were going to come back versus this year when you know you're not coming back, is there any sort of different feeling or sense of either urgency or pissed offness related to it?
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say pissed off, just a little bit frustrated about how things have gone lately. It's like no matter what we do, it's wrong and we can't catch a break. So it's been frustrating, but the guys are working hard. We're trying hard, and big weekend here. This is a great place for me. I love coming up here, and we put a lot of effort in. So we'll see how it turns out this weekend.
Come up to Lee, in up front.
Lee Spencer, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio and CatchFence.com. Have you and James and probably all of JGR kind of studied what happened at Bristol in the spring and have a good solution for going back given what happened with the tires?
I mean, we'll see. I think everybody understands that it was a lot different than expected going into the race. So I'm sure everybody will make changes and adapt, and the tire conservation will be top of the priority list. So. I don't foresee it being like it was, but there still will be some people that have tire issues, I'm sure. We'll just have to wait and see. And it's going to be different weather, too. So you never know. Bristol's a weird place. It can change a lot based on how the rubber gets put down, and the temperature is very critical. So it could be warmer, and, it could be less tire wear as well.
For a veteran, does that kind of play in your hands, since tire management is something that's kind of like in your arsenal of gifts at this point?
I mean, I don't think it hurts that we've had experience doing things like that before, and not everybody has. So, in the recent years, tires have never been an issue there. It's always been just hammer down as hard as you can go every lap. So, we've always seen track position, outweigh tires at Bristol, and that's something that we didn't have in the spring. So we've done that before, but it's been a long time.
And we've seen a lot of transition in the Xfinity Series, and I'm just curious, with the kind of success Ryan has had this year, do you expect him perhaps to get a little more on his plate next year?
As of now, he's really got nothing. So he's working really hard to try to figure some things out, and it really boils down to sponsorship and what can you bring to the table. So he's working really hard at that, and still doing his sim work and everything behind the scenes that he does for his real job, and trying to put together something for Xfinity. So we got a few people he's talking to, but nothing's done yet. So we'll see how it plays out.
Dustin Levine on NASCAR.com. Martin, you've won here. Obviously, you've ran well here. You had a good run at Bristol in the spring. How do you feel about these next 2 weeks?
I feel really good about it, honestly. I mean, we should be able to perform well here, and I'm excited for today. It's going to be interesting this weekend, with the tires that they've brought and the fall off that everybody's talking about. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Can we pass on Sunday? Let's say we don't qualify great, but we have a good long run car. Can we make our way through the field? It's something you haven't been able to do with these cars at road courses in a while. So I'm excited about it, and looking forward to the opportunity this weekend and go have some fun at a place I like.
You got off to such a good start. And like you said, there's been a lot of frustration, I'm sure. Like, what do you feel like's led to that? And because it doesn't seem like it's a lack of speed.
Yeah, it's definitely not a lack of speed. It's just a lot of different things. I've been through, you call it a slump. You see great players get in slumps in other sports, and that's what I feel like it is. I feel like we're doing a lot of good things, and we've got a lot of speed, and we're putting ourselves in position. It's just we're not putting it all together. Some days I make mistakes. Some days the team makes mistakes. Some days it's, last week we got caught up in an accident. There's been a lot of that. So just got to put it all together on one day, and hopefully that's this weekend.
Go over here to Holly.
Hi, Martin. Holly Kane with the NASCAR Wire Service. This weekend we have a lot of, which we've always had, but a lot of road course ringers. You've got SVG's in the race, AJ's in the race, Juan Pablo is in the race. How does that affect things when you're running for a championship and you kind of have these people that are coming in that are really good road course racers but are, really have nothing to lose?
Yeah, that's the hard part when you race with those kind of guys. And for the most part, generally everybody's respectful of the situation, I would say. And those guys have enough experience to know not to run somebody over that's, maybe fighting for a playoff spot or a championship or whatever. So they all have a lot of experience. They're great drivers, and it's not like they're new to this. So you just try to, play it a little bit safe around them and make sure, that you don't get yourself in a bad situation because they're going to be aggressive for sure.
Anyone right here?
Nathan Solomon, Speed Sport. Martin, obviously you've talked about potentially doing some part-time stuff next year, Daytona 500, but with some of the success that you've had at this place, is this something that's circled for you to try to make a return at in future years?
I'm not sure. I'd like to. I mean, I really do enjoy it, so we'll just see. I haven't even really looked into a schedule yet or, Xfinity and things like that. So one step at a time. We've got 9 really big races coming up to worry about, and that's kind of, the first thing on the list.
Go over to Daniel.
Daniel McFadden with FrenchChurch.com. Martin, you're one of the guys who can say that they raced against, one of the guys who's still around who can say they raced against Juan Pablo Montoya during his NASCAR tenure. From your perspective, what's it like to have him back at the track this weekend, and what's it been like having him in the Toyota camp getting ready for this race?
Well, I haven't talked to him yet, but I'm excited that he's here. I think it's really cool, and he must have got really bored or something because to come back after that many years of being in a stock car, and now these things are so different. But he's an exceptional talent. I was teammates with him for a while, and just raced with him a lot. So unbelievably talented, especially at road racing, and I'm sure he'll adapt quickly. But these things are a lot different, so it'll be cool to see what he can do.
Come up here to Davey.
Davey Siegel with Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Martin, this is kind of your last true road course. I know the Roval's coming up, but in terms of purpose-built, this is kind of it. What was the turning point, do you think, for you in your career on road courses when you started to get the hang of it and maybe even start to like it a little bit?
Honestly, I always enjoyed them. My first racing as a kid was on road courses, and felt like I always enjoyed them and looked forward to it. Even coming up here in the Busch North Series way back in the day, and always had success on road courses throughout. It was a little harder to find it in the Cup car, but it took a little bit longer. But you have so much talent across the board, from the regulars to the ringers to whoever comes to the road courses. So. Been able to win, a handful of road course races throughout my career in different series, and that's been fun.
Any more questions for Martin? Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
All right, there's the checkered flag. Great job, driver.